As a lot of you know, Tanya is a dietitian, and she finds that one of her biggest frustrations with clients that want to lose weight just want the diet and they don't address the mind. And if you don't address the mind, it's very, very hard to lose weight or sustain weight loss. So, what we also want to try and help people do is understand how the mind works and the things that you can do to improve your mind so that you can get to the goal weight that you want to achieve. These circles represent everyone, including you. And basically what it's showing is that we are all on an equal path. We're all on an equal footing. You have all the tools that you possess, you need right now to be successful. There's no difference between you and anybody else. What's different is the way you think and feel about yourself. So if your thoughts and feelings about yourself are quite negative, and as you've grown up, they've sort of pushed you down, then you're going to sit somewhere down here in the way that you think and feel. And as you know, the way you think and feel affects the way you behave. Whereas if you had a really positive experience, you have a sort of positive disposition, you might be the kind of person that sits up here. So what you want to do is you want to start to address this feeling down here. These thoughts and these feelings and behavior patterns have developed over years and years and years, and they've slowly kept you thinking and feeling in a way that's going to keep you at this level. So even if you try and lose weight, you're going to find you sort of float in and around this level because your thinking makes it very difficult to move out of there. Similarly, people that are over here have been built up over time to have a really positive self-esteem and positive outlook, and they behave in a way that sustains them at that level. So then you will notice that there's this sort of big gap between you two. That's why when you feel there is a difference, but that difference, there's this gap here, and you can't deny that gap. It's definitely there, and you can't say it doesn't exist. Well, it exists, but it only exists in your mind. It's only your thinking and behavior that separates you. Physically, there is actually nothing that separates you. So the very first thing you want to do is you want to identify and acknowledge that you are on the same level and path as everybody else. You have the same tools, the same resources as everybody else, and you need to believe that. So that's one. And the second thing is to realize that your thinking, feeling, and behavior, they're just neural impulses. They're just pathways that have been ingrained into your brain. They aren't actually true. They aren't actually reality. The only thing that is reality is right here and right now. All of this here are just conditioned patterns and thoughts from your past. So if your thoughts in your brain could create this situation, then it's no surprise that your brain can create this situation where you rise above yourself and your thoughts and your feelings. Okay, so that brings us to number 3. You want to start to see these. You want to really see them. You want to identify them. As they happen in your mind, become very aware of them. And then you want to remind yourself that they are just neural impulses. They're not actually true. This is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes sort of step by step, and day by day you get better and better and stronger and stronger. And then the fourth step, this is really, really important, is to think, how does this person up here, how does the me up here, the me who's been really successful with my weight loss and is at the ideal health and the fitness and the size, how does that person think and feel and then behave? And I would suggest really doing this in a quiet moment, like spend some time like in a meditation or a prayer, like a really long time, just feeling and actually feel it, how you feel in that body that's really healthy, that eats really well, that exercises and does everything that you want. How does that feel? And then because you're feeling that way, how are you thinking? And because you're thinking that way, how are you behaving? So spend a lot of time in those thoughts. I know a lot of people will think, oh, that's just not real though. Now I'm trying to imagine something. Well, this down here, that's not real either. That's also imagination. That's also part of your past. They're just conditioned thoughts. They're just neural impulses. They don't actually exist. You make them real by feeding them. So why not feed the thoughts and feelings you want to have about yourself. So like I said, it is a staged process. So every day you do a little bit, you spend a little bit of time imagining yourself, believing yourself into this state, and also being aware that as soon as you have negative thoughts, you stop yourself, you go, no. And then you can actually manually in your mind jump. It's almost like you're derailing that train, that negative thought, and you jump to the positive thought. And you forced yourself to feel that. And you may feel a pull, like your mind's trying to pull you back to the negative, but your mind is really, really strong, and you can resist that. You can pull it back into the positive. And the more you engage with that feeling, so if you're not just thinking it, if you're really imagining it, your mind, you will eventually win. You'll win that battle, and your mind will be absorbed in this experience because you're engaging a lot more of your senses than just a memory. So that's, I mean, there's so many tips and tricks for the mind to help you achieve your weight loss. But I think this is a really good starting place. So if you want to lose weight now, let's say your goal weight is 60 kgs, then you start thinking, feeling, and behaving as that body now. Don't think, when I get to that weight, I'm going to feel so good. Start feeling good about it now, because you are already taking the steps. You're already doing what you need to do to become that person. So you can already start to feel more comfortable in yourself. And every decision you make to get to that point, whether it's a decision to think more positively or to eat more healthy, is like I said, more positive steps to getting you to this point here. And that's where you're aiming to go. So like if we imagine this leap now from the bottom to the top, it seems like a really big leap in one go, but like I said, if you're building on this day by day, you're going to start feeling better and lighter and happier and more in control. And that little mind shifts, those little mind shifts that you make, you can start to apply to other areas of your life and generally feel better. So I hope that that's been helpful to you in some way. If you've got any questions, please just put them below. If they're diet related, Tanya will answer it. And if they're mind related, I can answer it. And good luck on your journey. Don't give up on yourself, because you're worth it. And living your brightest life is possible. You just got to start one step at a time.